Hello. One of those very rare times where I have the entire house to myself. I've taken much longer to do things than I was supposed to. Anyway, so this one I came up with. It's more of a strength based. I'll be doing some stuff on like using just one leg. Of course, you don't have to take that option. And then I do have my block also as an option. You don't need one, but if you don't have a block or you want to use something, it'll just be to be propped up in bridge. So like a thick book or a stack of books or even a stacked blanket as usual. So, all right, we'll get started. Standing at the top of your mat. I'm going to go through a round of Sun Salutation A or Surya Namaskar A. Of course, if you're not familiar with that, you just follow along. So, equal standing. Excuse me. Your feet about hips width apart. Equal balance in your left side and your right side. Ooh, I got something stuck in my throat. Sorry, guys. And then on an inhale, sweep your arms up, overhead. Make sure your tailbone is tucked and you don't do what I always do and stick my butt out. Tuck your butt, straight line. And as you exhale, fold all the way down. Hands as close to the floor or on the floor if you can. Maybe just a couple of breaths here. Normally you just move with your breath, but it is our first forward fold, so allow that to settle for a moment. And then on an inhale, halfway lift, bring your hands up to your shins, around your knees to create a flat back. Again, tucking your tail to make that spine a lot longer. And then fold again, planting your hands and walking your feet back to plank. Hands below your shoulders or your armpits. And then we'll do a push-up. So lowering down to the ground. If you can, don't go all the way to the ground and then push yourself forward. Of course, if you have to go all the way down to the ground, please do. Come into up dog with your knees and legs off of the ground. Elbows slightly bent. Chest high. Head high, and then on an exhale, tuck your toes and come into down dog. You can step your dog in a little if you need. And we're here for 5 breaths, so feel free to walk your dog or wag your dog, whatever you would like to do. And again, finding that equal standing, as much energy into your feet as is in your hands. I think I'm on like breath 3, so we'll do 2 more. Just trying to get your heels as close to the ground as you can, making your body as long as it can be. And then on an exhale, bringing your feet back up to meet your hands. Again, half lift, straight back, exhale, fold. And then inhale all the way up to rise. Hands up, upward hands. And exhale, let that go. Now this is where if you would like to set an intention, something that I've been forgetting to offer to you guys. But if you would like to set an intention for your practice, something that you're hoping to get out of it, something that you're just searching for a sense of calm or peace for your day, whatever it might be. So we'll go through that again, but with a little modification. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, straight back. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, and then you can step or jump back into plank. Now hold plank for a moment, and while you're here, this is where I said you don't have to take these modifications if you don't want, but lift one leg. So you're in a 3-legged push-up, and then take your push-up to go into up dog. So push up, push forward, And we're in up dog. And I like that modification because it really pushes you to have that equal balance on both sides. Use both arms to support yourself equally. And then push into down dog. And then lift your right leg, three-legged dog. And then bring that right leg up to meet your hands. If you have to, you can grab your leg to bring it up. And then inhale up into high crescent or a high lunge. And just holding this for a moment. Again, finding that equal. You can have your hands on your hips if you would like. That equal balance between the two to keep yourself centered. And then plant your hands back into down dog. Lift your left leg and step it through to high crescent or high lunge. Hands up or on your hips, whatever you would prefer. Finding equalness and evenness. And then plant your hands. Stepping back into down dog. Back to your plank. And this time lift the opposite leg. I lifted my right last time, so I'm going to lift my left this time. And then lower down into that push-up to down dog, or up dog, I'm sorry, into up dog. Brain. All right, back into down dog. And hold for a few breaths. I'm not lifting a leg. Even sun salutations, I mean, they get me definitely sweaty, all kinds of energy moving through my body. So hold here for maybe 3 more breaths. Just kind of allowing that to cool down. Maybe 1 more breath. And then on your next exhale, you could walk or jump your feet to meet your hands. Halfway lift, fold, and then inhale all the way up to the top. Upward hands, and equal standing. So now bringing your feet closer together, big toes connected. You can have a little gap between your heels if you'd like to give you a little more of a triangle to stand on. Hands at your heart center. Sitting down into a chair. And then twist to the right side, bringing your elbow, your left elbow, to the outside of your right knee, and trying to press all of that energy into each other, keeping yourself centered, lifting your chest and your head, your gaze to look up at the ceiling or the sky, if you happen to be outside today. And then while you're here, again, keeping that, pressing into your knee into your elbow, step your left leg back. And then bring your body back to center, your chest. Lower your hands and step your right foot out closer to the edge of your mat to find what's called lizard, lowering that left knee to have it bent on the ground. And then there's several different variations of lizard. You could stay with just your hands. You can't see any of this side of my body, but I just have my hands on the ground. You could lower all the way down to the ground if that's within your flexibility range. Press into your right knee, opening up some more of that inner hip area. Could even grab your left foot with your right hand if you wanted. Whatever variation you'd like to take here. And now reversing all of those movements, we're going to step our right foot back in, lift the left knee off the ground, maybe step it in a little bit, hands back to center, find that twist again, and step back into your chair. Then untwist. Back to standing. And shake that out. Let that go for a moment. We are going back. So again, big toes connected, heels slightly apart, triangle base, hands at heart center. Sit in your chair. And then take that twist on the left side now. Bring your right elbow to your left knee. And press your chest. And to look up at the ceiling. And to get the most out of this twist in your spine. I can feel myself leaning. So again, pressing your knee into your elbow. Keeping it equal. And then step that right foot back. And bring your chest to center. Hands to the ground. Step the left foot out wider. Lowering the back knee for lizard. That's what I call it, lizard. That might be the yin name for this shape. I don't know exactly. I do still need to polish up on my names of shapes. So again, you can fold if that's within your flexibility range. Press into that left knee to get a twist and opening in that hip. You could grab the back foot with your hand. Whatever variation you'd like. Whatever makes you feel the best right now. And then walking that foot back to center. Lift the back knee. Hands back to heart. Find your twist. And step to chair. With a twist. And then release. Coming back to center. And then letting that all go again. Woo! And inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Walk back to down dog. Just hold it for a moment. It feels a lot different now than it did in the beginning. And then walk your hands to meet your feet. Fold. And standing. So pivot. I don't know if you can see my heel at all. It was straight here. I'm pivoting my heel just slightly in a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to step my right foot forward to find warrior one. Yeah. Hands at the center. Pressing, moving my energy forward into that front foot. Lifting up into a half standing split. But instead of going all the way down, keep your leg parallel and find the ground with your right hand. Probably should have done this on the other side first. And then if you can, draw your left hand up. We're in half moon. This one really challenges me to stay centered and balanced. And then bring that back down. Woo. Lower that leg back. Back to warrior one. Put that foot back. And pressing back to meet your feet again. I'm going to let my dogs in really quick. We're one dog. And then we'll take that on the other side. So turning your right foot at a 45-degree angle. Left foot steps forward. Maybe not that much. For warrior one, chest and everything else is forward. And then press all of that energy into that left foot. Lift that back leg off the ground. Ooh, lower your left hand. Right leg parallel to the ground. And the right arm comes up. is the way I should have done it first, so I could show you guys a little better, I think. Oh dear. Whew. My hand's doing a lot of moving. It's like a kickstand. I'm using it to help keep me up and not falling on my face. And lower that leg back down. Ooh, warrior one again. And then meeting your feet back at the mat. You can feel all this heat. It's called tapas in yoga. Energy, all of this. Everything's flowing through us. It's purification. So now feet, hips width apart. Well, maybe not quite that apart. Bring your right foot into tree. And your tree can be, I'm going to turn to face you guys. So tree can be at your ankle. Could be on your shin. On your thigh. Never on your knee. That would cause a lot of harm to your knee. Woo. And if you would like, instead of just being in tree, you could take a lotus leg, which is resting that foot. You have to turn the sole of your foot up, resting that foot on your inner left hip. And that just gives more of a stretch, I feel, on the front of my leg. It opens up this right hip in a different way. I'm just holding this, hands at heart center, on your hips, wherever you'd like. Couple more breaths. Then we're moving towards cooling down. And then lowering that leg. And then we'll do that on the left side. Tree, wherever you'd like. And if you want lotus leg, I can't lotus with my left ankle due to breaking it years ago, and I have screws and all kinds of stuff in there, the hardware, and just won't allow it to turn properly. So lotus is incredibly painful for me on this side. Holding for just a few more breaths. I feel like I have a wisdom nugget, and it's just not coming to me. I use a lot of what I have on the mat in my daily life. I think back to all of this stuff that I'm doing here, the things that I'm capable of doing, and know that I have that in me, and I can use it off the mat and anywhere else. That's what this is all about for me. I'm lowering that leg. I think I held that a lot longer than I did on the right side. So now we'll go to the floor. I usually squat and then just sit on my butt. I believe I have y'all at the back of the mat, and you can, however you want to get down to the floor. Please find your way there. So this is where the block comes in. So we'll lie back down into bridge. And if you'd like, you could take that block and rest it underneath your hips. If you can, fingertips to touch the back of your ankles. Again, feet, hips width apart, keeping your body aligned. And raise your right foot. If you want, you could lift your hips up off the block. Creates more of a challenge. Try to keep your shoulders down. And lower if you came up. If not, bring that leg down. Left leg up. And again, you could lift your hips if you'd like. And back down. So now if you'd like, if wheel is in your practice, you can take it. And wheel is where you just look like a bridge. Your whole body is like a rainbow bridge. If wheel is not in your practice, maybe you want it to be, or you want to feel the sensation of it, you could bring your hands back. So basically, fingertips point towards your shoulders. Press into your feet, press into your hands, and lift your hips up off the ground. Oh goodness, I don't think I was aligned right. Oh. And wheel. Or you could just lift your hips up for bridge. Ooh, lowering back down. Onto your block. I should have checked my alignment with that back left hand a little better. Alright, so you can remove your block, and this is where you can take your final shape if you would like. My final shape, I'm actually going to turn onto my stomach with my arms out at a T shape, and then lifting my right foot, twisting my spine. I'm going to try to touch my left hand with my right foot. I call it a scorpion leg. And then back to center, and then just do that on the left side. Whip. Hello. Lift the left leg, scorpion leg, trying to touch that hand with your foot. Getting that twist in my lower back. So I really like this one. And back to center. And you could stay here if you were on your belly. Take your Shavasana on your belly. Actually kind of feels really good to sort of reverse. Feels like I'm reversing the energy flow that I had going during all of that. Allowing it to settle in a different way. As always, please stay in Shavasana as long as you would like. And bring yourself up gently. Inhaling when you come up to sit so you don't make yourself dizzy. In the palms of my hands, I gather all of the polar energies, left and right, negative and positive. Everything that we've gathered in this practice. Connected at my heart space. Bringing it together. Making it one. I honor your life as my own, and I thank you for taking the time to practice and share your energy and time with me. Thank you. Now I get to go to work. But thank you guys. Bye.